All right, we got Brooklyn's own Asoh Black. Join me here for Sports Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max, Live 365, iHeartRadio. He's on the come up now. Welcome to the show, man. How's
Yeah.
everything going? We're gonna go through your whole career, your whole journey, all the way up to your new EP.
Okay, let's do it.
How's
Let me,
everything
let me.
going, man?
I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? I got a haircut today, so that's always a mood booster type shit.
Yeah. How often? Here's a good question to start the interview off with. How often do you get a haircut? Because that's an interesting topic. Because some people go every day, some people go every week. When you're in the industry, you got to go constantly.
Max, there's nobody going every day. Every day?
I've
How
heard
fast your
about
hair
some
grow?
people getting a shape up every day.
Nah, I'm good once a week type shit.
Yeah,
If
you
I'm
got to go once a week.
yeah, if I'm feeling risque, maybe once every 2 weeks. I got the braids, so I mean it gives me some time to be honest. But I like to keep it clean
Yeah.
type shit. Yeah. What's
So
up? How
how
how often you get your haircut?
me? I think I go every 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, type shit.
Every 2 weeks. I think that's the best. Three at the most. Two is usually the best way because they really charge now for these haircuts. We're talking over $50 now.
You want to hear something crazy? Hopefully my barber don't see this, but he definitely think I'm still like a fucking 14-year-old or something because he be giving me the kid prices. I do not stop him.
Wow. No, you're
I
lucky.
be paying like 20 for a cut still. Yeah,
Wow.
no, I
No,
know,
I
I
need to
know.
find out where your barber is. I need to go to him.
I can't make it too hot because then he's gonna know and he's gonna charge me 35 one week and then 50 next one.
Unbelievable, crazy. But you got to take advantage of that while it's still good because he's probably the only barber that's charging at that price.
100%. I know that. I know
Crazy.
that.
But you got this new EP out. How are you feeling about it? 9M.
So it's 9 nights in Miami. Not honestly, I don't know why I abbreviated it because every time I try to spit it out, I get fucked up. I'll be like nine, but it's 9 nights in Miami, abbreviated. I feel good about it. I feel like it's been a while since I released a project, and it's a good like reintroduction because it's very like vibey. It's very like it's fun, but at the same time, it's always gonna be true to who I am, an introspective individual. You feel me? So there's gonna be some bars in there. It's gonna be some like turn up songs. It's gonna be some like this is an experience. If you ask me, it's just like I tried to find a way to encapsulate how we were feeling and the inspiration that we found in Miami through those days. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for sure.
How was that experience in Miami? You got the 9 nights there, but I think you've been there before because there were times where you're going to LA, Miami early on in your career.
Yeah,
You've been around the place.
no, for sure. It wasn't my first time, definitely, but it's funny because anytime I'm in Miami, I'm really only there to work. First time I was there, it was like a couple years ago. My manager had like locked me in a studio. I think it was like DJ Khaled studio in like Golden something. But yeah, we just had like a 12-hour session and just like cranked out a couple songs. So it's crazy because we were. I'm about to veer off. Don't mind me. But it's crazy because this time we were supposed to go to mix a project, a different project than 9 Nights in Miami, and what ended up happening was I just felt a sense of inspiration. Anytime I'm in Miami, anytime I travel for real, I feel like I don't know, I'm outside my comfort zone. I'm innately just in a different space. I can soak in that different environment, and uh, that led to me saying, "Fuck mixing a project. Let's use the studio to make a new one." Type shit.
And
Yeah.
what was kind of like the reason for the hiatus a little bit? Because I know it's been a while, like you said, since you last dropped. What was the reason for the hiatus?
Honestly, Max, I'm an artist that my constraints are the ones that I put on myself when it comes to time. And I know the type of music I make. I know the type of quality I aim for. And that's not something that I try to rush. So, like, yeah, I'll be consistent in terms of, like, putting out songs. But when it comes to a project, I like to be incredibly meticulous. I like to be, very calculated. So if it takes a couple years, it's going to take a couple years. It might take 6 months between the next one. You feel me? But I'm just not someone that's gonna be like, let me just put out a project just because it's been a while. You feel me?
Yeah. No, I get that. You have to do it on your own timing.
Exactly. And that's also how I like retain my liberty in this shit. You feel me?
Mhm.
Knowing that I'm still always operating at my own time. because it may not always be like that.
No, no, you got to move at your own pace. And is Black Ocean 2 still in the works?
Yeah, of course. Come on, come on. That's actually what we're supposed to mix. We was
Oh, okay.
to mix Black Ocean season 2, and honestly, it's coming. That's number one. It's coming. Number two, I'm at a space where it's like I just want to be grand with all my shit. So like I want Black Ocean season 2 to have like some heavy hitting features. I want it to have like heavy hitting production, and the more time that passes, the more quality of people that I just innately meet. You feel me? So like, it just gets me thinking: why am I not gonna be or don't rush, but rather like allow yourself to accumulate all these pieces that will come together to make the project that you want. You feel me?
Mhm. Let's take it a little step further towards how everything started for you, because I know you hated being in the choir as a kid, but it eventually led you to the path to where you're on right now, to where you can sing. So, and then your brother had this green nano. This now,
Yeah.
what's the
I,
song that's in his phone right now that he plays the most from you?
what is the song? Damn, damn. I think maybe his favorite song from me is. He be telling me. He be telling me. Um, he really likes the Blinding Tendencies freestyle I did, because that was kind of like on the Afro beats, and it's like more like singing. But you know what? You know what? He gets more enamored when like he sees me freestyle live. Yeah. Like yes, he loves the songs, but like when I invite him to like the listening party I just did in New York City, or um whether it's like a show that I invite him to and I'm freestyling live, I just see his eyes light up, and I could tell like that's the most enjoyment that he finds from just like my talent. You feel me? But if I had to pick a song, I would say he's most told me about Blinding Tendencies, the freestyle. But he also really likes His Richest Problems, and those are
Mm.
both from the new tape. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you come from a lot of siblings. You're the three of six. You're the third kid of six.
Middle child, that shit fucking sucks. My fault. Can I curse on
You
this?
can.
What's up? Okay, all right, yeah, that shit fucking sucks. But nah, on a real note, it definitely has its benefits. Um, if I want to be very like pessimistic, I could talk about how like you're either too old or too young to do something, to be allowed to do something, or just even not even allowed, because I'm not a kid anymore. But when it comes to judgment from like parents, or like what your responsibilities are supposed to be, as it pertains to the family, it could get sucky. That's what I would say if I was trying to be pessimistic. But if I'm like trying to have a silver lining on everything, I feel like, and maybe other middle children can relate, but it gives you a sense of purpose, knowing that at least I found great. I found like it's just interesting when you know that you're inspiring those that are older than you, right? But at the same time, you retain that responsibility of needing to take care of and inspire the ones below you as well. So I always feel like I got responsibility on my hands, for real, for real.
Mhm. No matter what in life, you're always going to have responsibility, even when you do have because it was community based with you. I mean, you look to, I heard, to your siblings for inspiration and for creativity, and look what it
I
turned
also look.
into.
True. Yeah, it definitely is it's a symbiotic thing, because I mean we're very close knit. We're Nigerian, so like the community that we grew up in was the one that we foster amongst ourselves most of the time. So yeah, we it's heavy influence that just spreads around. Definitely.
Did you get inspired by acts such as Green Day? Because I know that was also on your brother's Nano. He very diverse listening
I
base.
ain't gonna bullshit you. I ain't gonna bullshit you, Max. We was definitely teasing him for listening to rock and like indie and all that shit when we was younger. But now that I'm a little older, I definitely see the value of just being a multifaceted listener. You feel me?
Mhm.
Um, it just gives you the ability to one expand your musicality, but it's giving me the just the awareness of knowing that yeah, I rap, and sure, like a lot of my talents exist in the traditional hip hop R&B space, but at the same time, I'm not. It's not like if I tried to veer into like making or collaborating with like an Adam Levine type. You feel
Mhm.
me? It wouldn't be like, oh, what can I do with this? Where would I go? You feel me? That there's some sort of familiarity there.
Because high school was the really the starting point for you as far as hitting the studio, making the records, but you were inspired by Big Sean. What was about Big Sean that it drew you to
Max
him?
did his research. Max did his research. um, what's the question? My fault. My fault.
Oh yeah,
You said
what was
something
it
about Big
about Big Sean that you were attracted to his music?
I think honestly, it was his story. It was his story, right? That's one big part of it. Is the fact that like it happened so organically as it did, with the radio station and just like rapping for at the time, and even still one of someone who I consider one of the greatest artists of all time, Kanye, right? Just him having that organic of a story and reaching that level of a person is just inspiring. You feel me? You start to feel like not necessarily anybody can do it, but definitely if you put the work in and you're dedicated to that dream or that goal, is not impossible. But also, I feel like so I started as a poet, right?
Mhm.
I started poetry first, and so I'm like hella into figurative language. Like that's what I feel is one of the most like impressive tools that you could use as a linguist to try to express yourself through music. And the fact that Big Sean was heavily into, you feel me? He was heavily into metaphors and bars, like in a very traditional sense. Um, that kind of drew me in. Sometimes he spit a line, I was like, "What the fuck?" You
Yeah.
feel me? So it's like that.
Yeah. Little Wayne too. That was another one.
Goat, goat. What? Lil Wayne is, man. Yo, one day, and I'm manifesting it right here. One day I'm gonna have a Lil Wayne feature, and I might die the next day. To be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be crazy. But no, Lil Wayne is definitely a huge inspiration. His whole story, his whole, I think, bruh, that nigga's an icon. He's an icon. It's not much more that needs to be said. You feel me?
Absolutely. What was your intro to Little Wayne? Was it the Carter 2, the 3? What was the one that drew you?
It might have been. I want to say three. Is that the
Mhm.
one that had Man in the Mirror? Or
Man, that was Carter 4.
oh, okay, it was four. It was four. It was four. I remember. I just remember illegally downloading and shit. Sorry, on LimeWire, and like listening to this one tape, and it was like one of the. This one like motherfuckers had the music on the laptop still, you type shit, and like it was like one of the few albums that I had, and I would just play that shit so often, and I was like, damn, this man is so like talent is talent. Sometimes it's like how you can only be impressed so often for you not to be like, yeah, this nigga different.
You started rapping too because you liked how you felt important. You were important to the world, especially once you realized that you were not only affecting yourself with what you were releasing in your music, but others. When did you realize that you had an impact on other people with what you were saying in your music?
You want to hear a crazy story? I remember I remember being um, in college, and one of my good friends who like I knew to listen to my stuff here and there, but it was always like so like at least at the time I had a very clear distinction of like fans and friends. You feel me? It's like yeah, you can be a fan if you're my friend, but ultimately like you're a fan because you're my friend. You feel me? So that experience just was different from being a fan. And a friend came up to me one day, um, and in the middle of a different conversation. He was just like, you may not realize, but like, I think he was trying to give me a pep talk. Maybe I was like talking down on like myself or whatever the case is, and he was like, "No, you got to realize like how special a lot of your shit is. Like, there's this one song that you have, Lemonade Stands. You have no idea how many times I play it. You have no idea what type of space I was in when I first heard it. And honestly, and this was him like confiding to me, but also like I guess getting something off his chest. He was letting me know that he was just in like a very dark space, and just him listening to the song, it was enough to help him be distracted and kind of like help him out the situation. And it was kind of the first time because I get DMs, right? It was like, oh, your music does this and this. It means this much to me. But hearing that in person to someone that like I knew, it kind of hit different. And I was like, oh, like I've always had intentions of doing this with the purpose of influencing, right, and like being a positive impact on individuals' lives. But it never really hit until that moment that I'm affecting people that are not necessarily like people I may never meet, people that I may see at a show, share like a single conversation with. These are like people that know me and that I'm like literally um, seeing on a day to day, at least at the time. You feel me? So it was just like a way, in a way, it kind of like sobered me up to the reality that music is powerful. You feel me? It truly can like manipulate moods and allow people to, yes, maybe if you're going through like a sad time, maybe you want to hear a sad song so that you could be fully enamored in your feelings, and like that can help you get through it or whatever the case is. But sometimes you listen to a song and it's enough to help you just put things into perspective. You feel me? Like maybe I should. I mean, I'm not gonna say maybe I shouldn't be so sad, but like, uh, it has a way of reminding you all that the world has to offer. One, but all it has a way of reminding you that you are not alone. You feel me?
You're right about that. You're not alone. And you always say this too, always bet on yourself with your music. That's something that you always do. And it just goes in with the place of you, how you release your music. You release it on your time. So are you big on, okay, when I make a track, let me have this person listen to it and have them give me the advice. What do you think about it? Are you big on that? Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Fuck no. Listen, Max. This music is for I make the shit that that makes me proud. You feel me?
Mhm.
Like, yes, there may be a first line of defense, like a first line of approval from like my family, like my siblings and like some friends. You feel me? It's like, oh, you. I feel as though at least what I tell myself is that there's a certain circle of people that I have where I feel as though if I'm continually being considered one of the best to them, you feel me? Um, ultimately, it's just yeah. Past that, I only need to impress myself, and once I do that, I know that ultimately the that's my benchmark. You feel me? Um, So yeah, I make music for myself, and whoever likes it, they like it. If you don't, you like it later when you realize why you should have liked it in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
I like that because I
Yeah.
feel as though people around you may not have your best intentions because it takes a lot of courage to get on a track and say how you're feeling. So even if it's like one of your close friends and you're doing this, they're gonna try to bring you down. You can't trust anyone around you in this industry, even friends. They'll switch up. So I think you're right from making it perspective of how you like. If you like it, that's all that matters.
No, that's definitely true. Well, I mean, I'm not going. Maybe in the industry, right? I definitely would say that I like to keep a good a good solid circle around me of motherfuckers that I know will not switch up just because it's reciprocal, right? They only fuck with you because of who they know you to be, and as long as you don't switch up, it mitigates the chances of them switching up. But at the same token, like if you do, I'm not someone where I need my friends to love every single song for me to love every song. You feel me? Like I know that naturally, no one's gonna, no one's gonna. If you it'd be a different case if like I had one sound and like every song sounded the same and da 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 da. But the way I take liberties and trying to be so versatile with my sound and my endeavors, uh, it, I would be a fool to think that someone is they have to like every single iteration of what is essentially me. You feel me?
Mhm.
Um, because we're humans and like we have, yeah, you might like the majority of shit that I make, or you may like the majority of sides that there is to me, but you don't necessarily have to because you have a multitude of emotions, you have a multitude of experiences that shape your judgments, and who am I to tell you you need to discard that from me? You feel me?
Mhm.
So I know that my friends aren't gonna like every single song, and they don't necessarily have to because, like I said, the music is for me. That's number one, and also number two, like artists got to be more like bigger picture. Like there's so many people in the world, so I could put out a song, and literally everybody in New York City could be like, ugh, this shit's trash. This is garbage. Take it to fucking some places in Asia and they revere me like I'm a king. You feel me? So it really isn't about the product sometimes. It's really about the environment that the product sits in.
Mm. That's deep. No, you're very poetic, man. You just from listening to your
I'm just,
music, everything is it's
listen,
deep.
Max, you wanted me to come on here and lie to you? Let's spit
No,
some real shit.
I like this. No, we need more honesty and deep thinking. That's what we need nowadays. And speaking of deep thinking, expensive habits. What do you think is the most expensive habit you can have? Because I think the most expensive habit is wasted time because time is money.
No, I'm taking that answer. Fuck what I was thinking. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. No, you're so right. You're so right. That comes with uh, the decisions you make about like, damn, you kind of hit me with that because um, something that I've been just like been on my mind lately is just my relationship with my parents and the accepting the finite nature of it, you know, and understanding that a lot of times you have to take opportunities as they come and be as open to pushing forward as quickly, not necessarily as quickly, but like just taking advantage of the moment because even when you feel like you have forever, you don't have forever. And you know, you want to be able to share experiences with the people you love the most and have the ability to do so. And sure, you could tell yourself, oh, it'll come later, and it may come later, but you may still be sacrificing moments that could have came before that goal, or you feel me? So I feel like the more intentional you are with your time, the more just the more experiences you could have, honestly. And that's just being very broad. If I wanted to specify, you could talk about like even love. Like you do not want to waste your time with someone that may take some of your, you know, some of your best years, or like you don't want to be wasting your time with music too, because you want to be constantly like evolving. You want to be constantly dedicated towards uh, you know, being greater than your than yesterday's self. And I think ultimately, yeah, like yeah, like the more intentional you are with time, just the greater your potential. You feel me?
And even just aside, because I always say time is the most important, like I said earlier, because a lot of wasted time, whether it's people on their phones, people are in doing certain jobs that's like you just go after your dream at this point. But I look at it for spending habits because that's what it really boils down to. I think people do a lot of doom spending, blow money on clothes they're never gonna wear, and just stack up on things they're never gonna need. And it's crazy. You see it every day with people going to the stores buying stuff they don't need.
But honestly, there's a bigger conversation to be had, and that comes with people's lack of lust for originality, people's lack of lust for individuality, and how easy it is to just, be like the next person. And sometimes that is why people buy the clothes. It's because they saw it on this person, and it's much easier to be cool because someone else said this person's cool than it is to create your own cool and try to spread that. You feel me? Um, uh, Listen, my expensive habits definitely come. I'll say all this and like once I'm so bad with money when it comes to spending on women just because it's like I'll be like fuck it, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like fuck it, what you want, baby? But no, I do need to get better. I do need to get better at that. But I mean, certain things it doesn't. You don't have to be too hard on yourself for being elastic towards. I feel like when it comes to spending on women that you truly care about, I ain't just mean a shorty in the club on a Tuesday and fucking shopping spree on Wednesday. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, like, if I really fuck with you, like, it's not about the price as much as it is your ability to, have a good time, have an experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And there's a couple people that I know that are buying bags for these women and doing different things. It's crazy, but they're
It
all
depends. It depends on the woman. It depends on the woman because honestly, when you invest in someone you like, you're investing in yourself as well. You're investing in yourself. I mean, listen, I like nice shit too. You know what I'm saying? Like I like nice shit too. So how am I gonna tell her she can't like nice shit? And if she feel like a benefit of being with a nigga is getting nice shit, as long as I fuck with her, I don't really have a problem with it. But you right. Some of these niggas is cracked out buying bags for women that don't give a fuck about them. I don't get it. I don't
what
need to get it. That's not my business. But it happens. It definitely happens.
what's Asoh Black's test when it comes to if a woman is really down?
You know what? I don't really be. I don't really have a
It's not
test.
like a
Test.
test, but what's
Like
a sign
you're
to
not about
where
to drive through McDonald's before I could take you to a fancy steakhouse or some shit. But it's honestly it's the way you talk. You know when someone is fucking with you, and sure there are people that can put on a facade, right? Um, but I don't know. I think I have a very keen sense of attraction. I know when. Uh, I know when I want a motherfucker feeling me. You feel me? Uh, Sometimes it's the way they talk, it's the tonality. You could tell. You ever just look at a shorty and it's like, wow, you melting right now? You really, you feel me? Like sometimes you just know, and then at that point it's up to you to see if you fuck with her as much as she fuck with you. But I also feel as though when you are someone who when you're someone that's doing the shit that you're supposed to be doing, you feel me? Whether it's chasing, being ambitious, or being financially responsible, or just being an ideal individual, someone that a counterpart can look up to or can draw inspiration from and just not be feel as though there are dull moments. And you laying that pipe down. Then ultimately I feel as though it gets easy to tell, like, not even that, I feel like it's less reasons for her not to be real with you. You feel me? That's
Mhm.
that's 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 just my experience with women. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, unbelievable. But we got this because we look at with all the seasons that you got the season 2 on the way,
Mm-hmm.
Black Ocean, we know that. But you said in
All
order
right.
for us to really understand the full concept, you're going to be taking us throughout a whole series pretty much. So, how far
Yeah.
are we going with this? Could this be infinitely to where you're stopping at 3?
It's three. It's a trilogy. I feel like I feel like having a trilogy in your body of work, or in your catalog is very important. It's a very like historically, I feel like it's important. There are so many artists that are revered for having trilogies. You think of the House of Balloons, Weekend. You think of Chance the Rapper's trilogy. You think of Kanye's trilogy with Graduation, College Dropout, and Late Registration. There's a lot of artists that have. I mean, Wayne got a bunch of Carters, so he might be the exception, the anomaly. But I don't know. I think there's something special about having a body of work that's comprised of a series of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I also just feel like beginning, middle, end is just very formulaic. You feel me? Like it's hard for people to feel like, oh, you're dragging this out because you dropped the first one and that's the introduction, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the second one, people are just looking for a follow up. They want to see if you could go as crazy as you did the first time. And then the third time is your opportunity to close a chapter in the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like quit while you're ahead type shit. I feel like once you start going past that, you done put out 3 successful bodies of work in terms of the quality and the reverence that you're getting from it. It's not impossible, obviously, but it just gets harder, unnecessarily harder to just keep up with that same intentionality. That same intention. Uh, it's harder to keep up with that same like quality. I feel like it's just harder, and I mean, three's fine. Three's
3.
fine.
Well,
Yeah.
recent 3 was King Disease 3 with the trilogy with Nas. How'd you feel about that trilogy?
So Nas is a legend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nas is a fucking legend. And there's very little that he's gonna put out where I personally, because I like rap, you know what I'm saying? Uh, it's very little that he's gonna put out, and I'm gonna be like, I don't know about that. You feel me? So that's another example of someone that made a body or a series of work where um, people are able to appreciate it because of the formulaicness of it. I know formulaicness is not a word. Don't say shit in the comments, guys. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Nas is a legend. How do you feel about the borough of Brooklyn right now? Because Brooklyn, that's where you're from. I mean, you got legends that have come out of there. Biggie, Fab. We know the icons that have come out of there. Jay-Z, of
Yo, you want
course.
to hear something crazy? I went to the same middle school as Fab.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember. Damn, I've never disclosed that. But I remember being in like this chess program when it was like some summer program type shit, and I had this teacher. She obviously didn't fucking know I was gonna be a rapper or nothing like that, but she was clearly proud of him, and she would tell us like, "You could be great." Like, Fabulous was in the same position that she was just talking about him, and at the time, like, I'm in middle school. You feel me? Like, yes, I'm listening to music, but like, I wasn't super heavy into the type of music that I am now, and like the type of music I make until like high school. So at the time, I was like, "Oh, that's cool." You feel me? But past that, it's definitely something I look back on like, damn, you never really realize the interconnectivity of just the legends that come out of Brooklyn. But to answer your question, because I know you asked me like, how is Brooklyn? Like you mean like in the musical space?
In the musical space.
Yeah. So it's weird. It's weird because I'm not saying that Brooklyn is in a weird space, but I think that the answering this question is weird just because um, New York City, I feel like maybe in other cities, like they fluctuate in their moments. You feel me? Like maybe they'll be hot in this decade, or not this decade. Maybe they'll be hot for this like span of 5 years, and then nothing's really happening for the next five, or and then they'll get hot again, or whatever the case is. There's different cities that have their moments. You feel me? But I feel like there's always a party in Brooklyn. You feel me? Like there's always a greatness that's coming out of Brooklyn. Maybe the greatness isn't the most revered across the industry, right? So maybe it's not a time in where Brooklyn is seen as the city of hip hop at that time. You feel me? But I feel like There's already too much that has been done in Brooklyn for it to ever lose its appeal. You feel me? Um, so it just is weird for me to answer because Brooklyn is and has always been in a great space musically. It's always gonna be a home with like some of the heaviest spitters. It's always gonna be home with some of the greatest thinkers. Um, in New York City in general, but you asked me about Brooklyn, so we're gonna talk about Brooklyn. But ultimately, I feel like yeah, it could be greater. I feel like there are definitely other cities that are having more popping moments right now. But I think Brooklyn is in a good space. I think Brooklyn is in a good space. Just because like it's too much history. It's too much like work that's already. There's too much groundwork that's already been laid. You feel me?
I feel like Brooklyn, it's always going to have its places, and I actually did some work there this summer in Brooklyn with going to the Biggie photo shoots with the murals. You got a lot of murals around there. Old Dirty Bastard mural. I went to those this summer. It was just great being out there in the neighborhoods and everything, and just seeing that it's still here. Because I know a big topic of discussion is to everyone that says, "Well, Brooklyn's gentrified now." So do you feel as though that kind
Yo, you
of
want to hear something crazy? I gotta. Wait, my fault. I gotta charge my shit real quick, but it's fine. It's crazy because because you talking about gentrification. I got a beef patty today. I wasn't in my hood. I was in my homie hood. This motherfucker asked me, "Do I want my beef patty with cheese, hot or cold?" What? Wait, no, what? Max, what? He asked me if I wanted it cold. What is that? What do they do? Who are they letting into my fucking city? Nah, that shit still got me hot, clearly, but yeah. It is getting a little different. It is getting a little different. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I said, Brooklyn's always going to be Brooklyn, but it's just different now. Like, I know where Biggie grew up, people have told me that that's completely changed from how it really used to be. I didn't really go that deep to when I was there this summer. I just went for the murals and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people have told me a lot has changed there.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, yeah, it's changing, but that's life for real. I guess. I guess. Like I'm not a fan of losing too much culture, and it really does start with the real estate. We don't got to go too deep into that, but New York City will always be a place of attraction. So there's always gonna be people coming in. There's always gonna be money coming in. So the more money comes in from out of town, the more that money can influence whatever they want the space to look like. You feel me? So yeah, it'll change, but like that's just indicative of the greatness of the land already. For real, for real.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you go, the high school was a starting point. We mentioned it early in the interview, but you were going to college. And even when you're in college, you were taking that trip like 30 minutes away to go record with your friends. So what were some of the most important connections you made from that point, whether within college or during your time at college, that kind of got you on this path to where you're at now?
Mm, yo, shout out to Moonlight. I don't know if you know
Like
who
that's where
they
you're
are, but
recording at.
right. Those are my homies. That had the studio that their parents bought them. I remember I was recording in their dorm freshman year, and then they moved off campus because, yeah, they moved off campus like 30 minutes away. So ended up like having to. I didn't have a car, uh, and I wasn't trying to take the bus. And also, I used the time, the 30 minutes walk, to write. So that was also something I would tell myself, like I needed this time because it helped, just get the juices flowing. But them definitely. I think it was also just good for me to just develop and cultivate this business tip that I'm on and have grown into because like yo, I used to fucking skip class to go perform at other colleges. I remember there was a class I had to retake because I missed too many days because I had to fucking go to other colleges to perform. Um, uh, 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 in terms of, I mean, there's a bunch of connections that I made that definitely I revere. I don't know if it's necessarily music connections outside of them. Um, Also met my manager around that time for sure. So that's definitely important.
Mhm.
But that story's for another day. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've been going around. What was came to a surprise was when you found out from your manager that you got a spot on the Lupe tour. How was that experience with touring with Lupe Fiasco?
So it's funny because um, shout out Billy Blue. He brought us out during his set, I believe, like a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, in at Brooklyn Steel, and that shit was bonkers because that was the first time I kind of like I performed in front of that many people. It was like the cap is like 2,000. So I don't know, for some people that's small, but for a lot of people that's a lot of people. And I remember only being able to see the front row while I'm performing because of the light situation. I'm thinking, all right, this is cool. Like I could control this. And then they turn the lights on at the end. I'm like, wait, where does this shit end? You feel me? There was just so many people. But so shout out Billy, shout out Lupe. It's funny because I was just coming out during Billy's Billy's set, and we were in Boston, and Lupe comes into the green room, and he comes into the green room, and I say some sort of greeting. I think I was like, "What's up? How you doing?" And blank stare, not even looking at me, straight at the wall. He's like, "I'm fine. Do you have a set?" And I'm like, yeah, I gotta say, Billy just brings me out. I'm gonna do a couple of songs, and Billy's like, no, he doesn't have a set. Oh, actually, I'm like, nah, Billy just brings me out, right? And then he goes, that's not what I asked you. Still not looking at me. He's like, that's not what I asked you. Do you have a set? And at this point, I'm kind of clicking what's going on, but at the same time, this is Lupe. You feel me? I'm not trying to like step on toes and stuff. So I'm like, I mean, I just come out during set. I'll do a couple of songs, and he was like, "You got some songs?" And at this point, the wheels are kind of turning in my head. So I'm like, "Yeah, I got some songs. I got like one or two songs that I usually do during da 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 da." I'm still stupidly talking about this fucking set that I'll be doing with Billy, right? So at that point, Billy chimes in. He's like, "Nah, yeah, he just dropped the EP. He has 4 or 5 songs ready to go. He can perform them tonight." Lupe looks. He's like, "Okay, let's get him a set." So that was kind of crazy. So we're about to join them on a couple more days for the rest of this tour. So that should be exciting. I think I leave for Chicago on the 10th. That is gonna be fucking crazy. I can't even imagine how crazy that's gonna be. Just because the venue is huge as fuck, and that's his hometown. You feel me?
Congrats on that. That's big getting back on the tour with him too. And I was just at his show. I was VIP for his show. What was it, 2 weeks ago in Brooklyn? Yeah, he puts on a good show.
That's another thing. Being able to just, I'll be thinking about how I try to stray from calling certain things lucky because I know how much work I put in. I know the standard I hold myself to. So I wouldn't wholeheartedly say lucky, but I sometimes think about how blessed I am to be in a position where my first fucking tour is me watching arguably one of the greatest hip hop musicians of all time do his thing. So it's good to have that mentoring experience. Um, and I quite literally be taking notes. I'll be like backstage, just like in my notes, just fucking like, okay, he said this, then intro the song. Maybe I don't have to like talk too much in between songs. I could just say one line of that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just I think about how that translates, that translates, but also will translate to my development as a performer. And I don't know, I feel very blessed. I'm very grateful for sure.
It's only going to go up from here. And you've talked about just watching Jim Jones work. What did you take away from his working process? Because he's someone that's in the business with NFTs. This is a guy who's been lasting for he's going over multiple generations now.
Jim Jones is crazy as well, just because like he's a workhorse. Uh, he'll really be in that studio just like song after song after song, and it's kind of crazy. So something that I definitely take from Jim is just his work ethic. You feel me? He just really cares about this music shit, and I feel as though I can't fathom a reality where he's not putting out music, or he's not working out on music, and he's smart because he's cognizant of the benefits of always keeping some new niggas around. You feel me? And what that could do to maybe even definitely help us, but have it be like a symbiotic relationship. Uh, yeah, there's a couple legends around me, to be honest.
Yeah, and there's going to be more soon.
I don't know, man. We gonna see. We gonna see. I'm
You
excited.
think this? You think this Drake, J. Cole, Janae track's going to happen? I heard that this was the dream track that you wanted.
Uh, shit. All of us on one song. Maybe. Fuck am I saying? It'll happen if I need it to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that would be an amazing song. Yeah. And just because I said it and it's out there in the universe, I'm gonna try my very best to make it happen. Why not? Um, but yeah, even just if we were all on separate songs in a combined body of work, I was actually thinking about some people that I definitely would love to work with, and the benefit of working with others, collaborating with others. I'm from New York, man. Like, so we don't really we don't be getting along like that, and it's hard to, especially when you feel like you're like really talented, and like sometimes you can feel like maybe you need to impress me before you can work with me. You feel me? So I feel as though there's not as much collaboration innately going on in New York, but um, I think like I've been just really heavily locked into um, re-listening to the Kanye trilogy. I would like go to the gym and listen to the whole album, like in my sessions. And one thing I take away from him is how collaborative he was. Like I was up until 808s and Heartbreak, he damn near was outsourcing all of his hooks. So it would always be a new experience. It would always be like a new vibe, and I don't know. That's definitely something that I'm gonna try to to adhere to, like working with others and just allowing my sound, and not necessarily my sound in terms of Asoh, but more so my sound in terms of the art that I'm putting out to the world. Allow it to be as like grand as possible. And a lot of times when you want to go big, you need others. So yeah.
How are you looking to get into the tech space? Because this is what you went to college for. You're a big tech guy. That's your interest. So how are you looking to get involved in that industry and aspect?
You gonna find out.
Yeah, he's got something planned.
Whether it's me, well, whether it's me, listen, I stay with an idea. I stay with an idea. It's just about meeting the right people to bring it to fruition, having the being at the right place in your life to make shit happen, and in terms of like what you can invest. Because like at this stage, like all my money's going into this music shit because this is what I believe in. You feel me? We're just
Mhm.
gonna get to a point where if I want to throw a couple million into a tech investment for the development of a software that I think is really gonna, revolutionize a space or disturb a space, then that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to do it quietly. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want niggas stealing your IP. But no, it's definitely something that I think everyone. It's like, bro. When it comes to me, it's like music, real estate, tech. I feel like why is you having all that money if you're not throwing into some land, especially if you love the city. Why don't you own a piece of it? Come on now. If you can, I'm talking about when you at that level already, right? Um, but also I feel as though what can help get to that level is just staying up to date with like emerging technologies, knowing what technologies are really moving the needle, because at least in 2024, it's one of the biggest investments people make, and it's one of the fastest ways to scale something, right? Just utilizing tech. Think of all these billionaires, or even crazy millionaires. A lot of them are invested into, or have someone that's telling them to invest into technology, because it could be, just a smart way to just keep your money growing.
You can never have enough of that. I'm telling you. Now, especially nowadays, you really need to stack.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
Can't leave the house without spending $50. That's what I say now. It didn't used to be that way, but now it really is.
Shit, you going to the deli, you might end up with some new shoes.
Yeah.
It be like that. Fucking be like that. But
How
yeah.
about I mean, because the tech goes hand in hand with fashion too. So are you looking to get into the fashion space? I know I've seen your outfits online, just what you do right there. I mean, look at that. You got the statement on tonight.
I ain't gonna lie. This is what I'm wearing right now. Is almost God. Shout out them. Shout out my boy Drove. He's a Indian founder in this fashion shit. You might see us working very closely together. I see our relationship very similar to what Kanye did with. Damn, I'm just fucking another interview. I'm just talking about Kanye, but I see what Kanye did with Polo, and how Kanye tries to, or not even just him, but like a lot of great people of influence try to be first movers, especially in the fashion space, because it's the easiest way to exert your originality, your independence, and say, I'm not them, I'm myself. So, helping a brand reach a new market, as what I'm trying to do with Almost Gods and this New York City scenery, I think that is very important, and it can be a very, great route an artist can take to just create differentiation for themselves, and set them apart. So to answer your question, I'm definitely gonna get into fashion, whether it's me walking on runways or me being more behind the scene and like creating my own clothing. I told you I stay with an idea. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go into tech. I'm gonna go into fashion. I feel as though like those are just like innate callings. You feel me? Because they're just very. And that's what I was about to say earlier about the importance of investing in tech, especially the artists. If you're listening, it's very natural, just because there's so much creativity that just goes in hand with both of these things, and the importance of creativity to the success of these things, like a fashion brand or a tech idea. Um, yeah, so it's like, why not? Why not? You feel me?
Well, I'll tell you this: we need some of your influence in this fashion space, because when I see just regular people, I'm disappointed, because I remember when I was a kid, you always had to be the freshest sneakers, the freshest top. Have you
That's
been
like,
noticing the fashion space going on right now? It's basically like people just throw on anything and they don't even care anymore. Am I the only one that's seeing this right now?
but first, I mean, yo, let's leave the trap. Missy Elliott, you are a fucking legend. We know this. We know this. Let's leave the trash bag wearers in 2024. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Let's
are you talking about Montclair's?
the monk. Hold on, you trying to get me in trouble? But I'm just talking about niggas that walk around with like trying to make a fit out of anything. Like, dog, take that shit off. That is a kitchen. What are you doing? Like, you feel me? Granted, there are some artists that are very, very talented in like repurposing material. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about like a Tev from Boston, who is, I think, is one of the dopest designers, and he just happened to be from Boston, but whatever. Um, uh, uh, But yeah, let's leave that in 2024. Let's leave some aspects of performance art in 2024. Just get back to create, just paint or draw nice shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be impressed by how you make the shit. I actually don't give a fuck how you made it. I need to know what it looked like in the end. I don't care that I don't know. I'm hot because I seen a video of like these two artists that were like I think they were putting on like a performance and like they they had like I think pencils. One person was they had a hand right and then fucking drawing on the wall, and their hand is attached to another artist that's like a couple feet away. So basically, the movements are coordinated. So it would seem, but obviously the whole art of it all is we're different and like we're trying to whatever happens and like we're just gonna make something beautiful out of this chaotic process. Dog, it was just scribbles on a wall. What is that? You know what I'm saying? What is that? About to sell it at a fucking auction or some shit for like a couple million. Is like, I don't know. I think we need to fucking take a hard look at what's going on in the art space, especially visual art. No shade, no shade, no shade.
And whatever goes on in the art space affects the regular world because there's just not as much influence anymore. When the art space is failing as a fashion sense, then it's going to
No,
boil
you're
down
right.
for no one else to be influenced.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. And I was specifically talking about visual art, like
Mhm.
like paintings uh and drawings. But you're
Mhm.
right. Ridiculousness also is appearing in fashion. But I'll be honest, I have more leeway for a ridiculous fashion idea just because at the end of the day, I could get I could get I could get enamored in the message of it all. You feel me? Like maybe that looks wacky because there's something deeper behind it. But when it comes to like some shit I just described to you, it's like I don't give a fuck. Just show me something beautiful. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm gonna get that, whatever. But it is what it is.
It definitely is what it is. With your deal, because are you looking to sign a record label deal? Is that something that you want? Because I feel as though you're too above.
I can't disclose that, man. You know, if it makes sense, it makes
If it
sense.
makes sense, makes sense.
That's really what it is. I do like the autonomy that I have. I do like the freedom that I do have. But I'm not completely opposed to signing with a machine that could take the art to a different level. It just gotta make sense.
Mhm.
It just gotta make sense.
Well, you're already making a statement out there, and you did it with your name with the exclamation point. You wanted to make a statement with that.
For sure. Definitely. Yeah, I'll be getting tight when niggas leave the. You didn't leave the exclamation mark off. And I fuck with you, Max, for that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You be leaving it off. I'm like, that's kind of like it's like half of the. It's like half of the brand because like when you see me perform, when you. Nah, yeah, the exclamation mark is really just an ode to how I perform, just because my whole shit is energy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we've evolved as a society in the type of outings we expect when we go to concerts. It's like, yes, there's certain artists and certain genres where you know if you go in a concert, you just there standing in place and you sing it, right? But is I feel like when it comes to hip hop, people want to move, people want to feel, people want to like they need energy. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what I'm about. You see me perform, I'm jumping all around the stage. I'm fucking jumping. I'm jumping down into crowds. Yo, my pops was telling me I shouldn't do that no more because I sent him the video of the because I had jumped from the stage to like the stands, kind of like the space in between, like you know what I'm saying, between the crowd and the stage.
The
I had jumped,
stage.
and I didn't know how far it was. I ain't gonna lie, but if you look at the video, I disappeared for a second and it was pretty steep. But yeah, so he was telling me don't do that for I break some. But I'm a stage dive my next one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause that's what people want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People. energy. Yeah.
That's what they need. And what's going to be the energy that you're going to give the people going into 2025 with you got the new EP out. You're about to go back on tour with Lupe. What's going to be that energy for 2025?
Honestly, and that's why I said it's more in the performance as opposed to just the music, because I like to allow myself the freedom to not exist in a box. You feel me? It doesn't necessarily have to be the most energetic song that I put out. Sometimes it's one that's heavily endowed in introspection. Sometimes it's a song that's just like talking about something very specific to me, or sometimes it's just me trying to showcase my ability to talk about anything, right? And just turn it into a great song. You feel me? I could be talking about fucking just what it means to feel like what Friday nights look like to me. You feel me? And I could just make like a great song. I could talk about a fucking apple and try to bring deeper meaning to the apple. So sometimes it's not about energy when it comes to the music, but performance is always it's got to be translated.
Yeah.
But in terms of what energy I'm bringing into this next year, like I said, I'm finding, at least right now, today, I'm finding myself just, trying to make the sound a little bit more grand, whether it's collaborating with other people or uh, whatever the case is just trying to make that sound that's going to be unrelentlessly timeless. I feel like I'm around I'm around too many of the right people to not take that into account and really try to become an artist that, is revered as, quite frankly, one of the best.
I like that. And you're going to do it.
You're gonna see.
Yeah, we're going to see, man. Asoh Black, is there anything else you'll love to let your fans know that we didn't talk about tonight that you want to let the people know?
Now Nights in Miami out now. You know what I'm saying? Go listen to all of those songs. Okay, Bay is coming. So we left the song out of the. Should I be disclosing this? Fuck it. We left the song out on the project, and we're kind of like reloading it to give it a new vibe. And there's a song that people know a version of, and they really want it, and we're about to give it to them. So that should be coming soon. Okay, babe, watch out. That's like one of my favorite songs. That's what I've been performing on the dates for this tour, and yeah, man, shit's about to get crazy, man. It's about to get nice. But Lord willing, because who knows what's gonna happen in this shit. But just know that my head is screwed on. Like, if you're a fan of me for real, I know I've been away. I apologize. I've been a deadbeat artist, but I'm coming home. I'm coming home. You feel me? Tell you shit.
Tell the world I'm coming home. Oh, if people are going to cancel me for that, I don't care.
Yo, I'm weak.
uh, Asoh Black, man, you gotta tell them where they can follow you on Instagram, X, all that, so they could tap in with you.
Follow me on Asoh Black, Instagram, Twitter. I'll be active on. You could follow me on Snapchat. Don't fucking think I'm gonna write you or nothing, but you can follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, literally all the socials type shit. ASOHBLACK. Yeah.
You got it right there. Go check out that new EP, everyone. Thank you for coming on the show, Asoh. I had a great time talking to you. Shout out to your manager. Shout out to L Nice too. Got to get you back on once you're ready for another interview.
Yes, sir. There's gonna be another round. We know that. We know that.
Yeah. This one was a long one.
Listen, I appreciate you for having a fruitful conversation and ask me questions that really kept me, interested in just conversing and not having like a bullshit conversation. I fuck with you for that, for real, for real.
I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. We're gonna have another real conversation soon. I'm looking forward to the new music that you got. The EP, I got that in the rotation for you. I like what I heard. We got to get that season 2 on the way with Black Ocean.
It's coming. It's coming. I promise. I promise. It's coming.
All right. All right, Ace. So enjoy the rest of your night. And until the next time, all right?
Yes, sir, Ski.
All right, man. Peace out.
Have a good one.
You too.